Alright, it is a new year, which means it's time for me to conquer my wishlist. And let me tell you, I have already gotten volumes that is not on it. Why am I like this? Hello brothers, my name is Daidarius and welcome to my manga haul of January 2025. I'm not gonna stand here and talk about it too much, but yes, I have a lot of things to collect this year, and I've already went out of my way to get something that is not on my wish list, but we'll get to it. Let's jump straight into my manga haul. And first up we have Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 24, and as you can see, I'm already reading it because, in case you don't know, I just recently posted a video regarding reading your TBR, and I still have a lot of TBR to read, so I'm slowly catching up on things I have not yet read yet, like Jujutsu Kaisen. I just look very much forward to get the rest of Jujutsu Kaisen because with Volume 24, we are only missing 6 volumes, and I think we're gonna get 3 more this year. I'm not sure. I'm only gunning for 2 more, but we'll see. But yes, Jujutsu Kaisen. Looking very much forward to getting the rest of the volumes, but I don't have too much to say about it, so let's just jump on to the next one, shall we? And next up is Mashle, Magic and Muscles, Volume 18, also known as the final volume. And I've actually managed to read this as well, which means I've now read all of Mashle's. The final confrontation in this is extremely underwhelming. However, given it is Mashle and how the fight usually ends, it's actually in character. So, I mean, it's kind of like that meme. I don't know what I expected. What I'm trying to say is, I actually fully enjoyed this series from beginning to end. It is one of the funniest manga that I own, and it has some great action. It has a simple story. It managed to tell that story in only 18 volumes, and then it just dips and gets out. And I actually respect that. So yes, Mashle, Magic and Muscles, Volume 18. I highly recommend it if you have not checked it out. Next one. And next up we have Sakamoto Days, Volume 11, Volume 12, and Volume 13. I believe I'm only missing 2 more volumes, and then I will be caught up with Sakamoto Days, and then that means I only have to buy a new volume when a new volume drops. So being able to catch up and then having room in the budget to focus on other things will be great. I will get to that at the end of this. Sakamoto Days, again, I haven't read it, so I'm not going to delve too much on it, but let's get on to the next one because, again, it's kind of related to this. And next up we have the Elusive Samurai Volume 10. I am still a bit far behind of this. I think there's 14 volumes out right now. With the Elusive Samurai Volume 10, looking at the cover and looking at the spine, it seems like we have done some time skip, because just like with Naruto and at least the Viz's releases of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, when the spine changes color, it indicates a major time skip. So I think that's the case here, but I do not know. I have not read it yet. All I know is I'm getting closer to catching up on Elusive Samurai as well. I will give you a lot more meaningful commentary on the series once I've read it. Alright. Now, the only thing we have left now is some extremely awesome stuff. So let's get to it. And next up we have Witch Hat Atelier. I don't know. Is it a French word? I have no idea. But Witch Hat. And this was one of the series I was most looking forward to in my manga wishlist video. The magic system that they use, basically just gonna program your spells. You write the program, the method, and then execute it, and then it does stuff. And again, since I am a software engineer, magic, but with programming, sounds awesome. So I'm looking very much forward getting into this series, but I know not that much about it. The only thing I really know about it is what Gigok, I think he's called, has released in a simple video. That was what caught my attention, and then I looked into the series and thought, I'm gonna actually get that. So I know about the overall story, I know about the magic system, and I know about the art and how it is exceptionally great, and also how it does paneling and tells the story is quite unique, I have heard, so I'm looking forward to reading it. But speaking of Witch Hat Atelier, we have Witch Hat Atelier Kitchen. And the only thing I know about this is that it is a spin-off. I'm assuming that we're gonna do programming in the kitchen, but even if we aren't, it actually states on the back that it includes a variety of real sweets and savory recipes with step-by-step instructions, which means every new volume I buy of these, I'm gonna get some recipes. I see that as a win-win. So I'm looking very much forward to getting all of the spin-off as well. There's not that many of these out, I think 6 or 7 volumes in total, whereas with Witch Hat there is 13 or something like that. But yes, looking very much forward to start reading those. Let's continue. And next up we have JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 6 Stone Ocean Volume 7. It's such a mouthful. With this, we only have 2 more volumes to go. I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. I just think it's funny that I waited until I had all of Part 4, all of it was released. Then I decided to read it. And then I told myself I'm not gonna wait until all of Part 5 is released before I'm reading it. And then it was only after all of Part 5 was released before I read it. And now I told myself again, don't wait until all of Part 6 is released before I read it. And now we're only missing 2. I still yet to read it. So it's gonna be the case again. Is it going to be the same with Part 7 and Part 8? Probably, I don't know. But yes, I won't spend too much time on Part 6 here. I haven't read it yet. All I know is I'm looking much forward to reading more JoJo's because I'm a huge fan. But speaking of JoJo's, thus spoke Rohan Kishibe Volume 1 and Volume 2. And you might think to yourself, Daidarius, those weren't on your wish list. I know. But it's JoJo's in hardcover. And it's by Araki. I mean, my hands were tied basically. There was nothing I could do. I was in my local store with my daughter looking for some manga to pick up because I just happened to be at my local store for the first time in like a year. And they were just staring at me. Right at me. And told me, pick us up. And I mean, there was nothing I could do. Even my daughter looked at me and like, we gotta pick those up. So I got these. And last up we have Trigun Maximum Volume 3. Almost there. We are only missing 2 more volumes and then we'll have all of Trigun, the whole series. Trigun and Trigun Maximum. And also that means that I will be reading it because I'm actually saving that for when the whole series is out, considering all the other stuff I have to read in the meantime. Makes a lot of sense. But related to Trigun Deluxe Edition. So this year I have a lot of Deluxe Editions to get. I have 2 more Trigun Deluxe Editions. I have at least 2 Ubu Blood Deluxe Editions, which I have to actually start on. I have, at least it was announced, 3, even though I only committed to 3 Vinland Definitive Editions. I have the rest of Soul Eater Not, the rest of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and then Part 7 also, the rest of Fist of the North Star, and Battle Angel Alita's, I think it's 5 Deluxe Edition books and then 1 special books that is in the box set. So, I mean, those volumes are expensive as shit. So the fact that instead of buying one of those, I could buy one of those Deluxe Edition volumes. It could have been Ubu Blood or Vinland Saga. I chose to get this. I have looked at what I'm gonna get this year and holy shit. Oh, there's also Ashita no Jojo. Point is, I shouldn't go too much outside of my wishlist until I've managed to collect these things. But speaking of my wishlist, if you're just gonna take a brief look here, we're gonna cross the first one out already, which is awesome. Mashle, Volume 18, managed to get it. We're gonna cross it off. And looking at next month and next month again, we're gonna soon cross out a few more volumes, which is gonna be great. But I also realized that just me once every 3 or 4 months throwing this up will not help you keep an overview of how I'm actually doing with my wish list, because most of these I'm only crossing out when I get all of it, all 3 or 4 volumes, if that is an entry. So I'm just gonna take this down. I'm gonna post this pie diagram right here, or pie chart I think it's called. This is all the volumes I need to get, and then also the volumes I have gotten. So right now I have gotten 11% of the amount of volumes I've committed to, missing 89. And a large portion of those 89 is the expensive deluxe editions. So yeah, it is not a it's not a good sign that I'm at the first month of the year is disheartened about what I need to collect. But on the other hand, this is the year of the deluxe editions, and I've already managed to get 1 deluxe edition and 3 other hardcovers, even though 2 of them was not on the list. And even if it's gonna be a bit more expensive, or I will say it's gonna be a bit more difficult to collect everything since I probably need to make some sacrifices, this is probably the year I'm most stoked about. Again, because of my love for hardcovers and high quality manga volume releases. So, with that being said, how does your manga haul look like? And are you gonna get the Planet Test Deluxe Edition or any other specific Deluxe Edition this year that you're looking very much forward to? Again, personally for me, it's either gonna be Vagabond or probably Ubelblad, but that's because I have Volume 0 and the series was discontinued, or at least it was out of print by Yen Press. And now they're gonna re-release it in Deluxe Edition. So I'm looking very much forward to that. So, whatever you think, comment on me your thoughts. As always, until I see you next video, just remember to stay awesome. See ya.